Hello everyone, and welcome to a quick look at VPNs and gaming. Right, now for anyone who watches my videos, you'll know that I do a weekly video based in Fallout 76. Now Fallout 76 is a game that is the continuation of a trend that has started in gaming, and that is always online. There have always been online games, don't get me wrong. I'm not suggesting in any way that they are only online now. I remember watching one of the first ever Quake online tournaments, and those people were amazing at that game, doing rocket jumps to get up to places I didn't even know you could access on the map. It was insane, and that was a good 20 years maybe. You know, so I know that online gaming has been a thing for a while, but they always take a lot of processing power and internet connection. With the explosive nature of battle royale games recently, together with games like Destiny, the one thing you do not want is for your VPN to slow down your connection to a point where you can't play the games. Now, there are a lot of options, and there are definitely a lot of VPNs that are bigger than the one that I'm using. But I'm using this one because this is the only one I could find that actually gave you a completely free option. That means that you, right now, can go sign up and gain access to a VPN for absolutely nothing. And then when I did my research, it did also show that it was one of the fastest, and it has some very good bits and pieces. I am not sponsored by them in any way. They definitely have their issues, so don't think this is me saying how great they are, but the one I'm using is Windscribe. Alright, so I have several PCs that I use in my day-to-day life, and first I'm going to show a game running on my not as fast mid-level PC that I predominantly just use for light gaming, not high-end spec, just some basic run-of-the-mill gaming, and I'm going to be showing off first of all the Crew 2. Right, now this is gaming using a VPN. This is the Crew 2 on my second PC, which isn't the fastest PC in the world, but can run the Crew 2 smoothly with no problems. And as you can see here, it's actually not that bad until I really start getting going, and then it freezes, and then it starts to freeze again, and it's very, very hit and miss. Now, I can see other people online, and that's a good thing, but it's very, very jerky. Because this game is always online, it is always trying to connect. That is a problem. Now, as you can see, it has completely frozen. And it's got to a point where it's even not responding. If you leave it long enough, it all just kicks back in again, and there you go, no problems whatsoever. But that's not great. You know, if I was in the middle of a race, that wouldn't have helped at all. Then I thought, you know what, you can auto change vehicles. So I tried to auto change the vehicles, and it did not like that at all. Not anything whatsoever. I did manage to get back in before it either flew me into space or crashed. And then it just froze in place. There you go. That's quite nice there. Look at that. Just hanging in space. And I tried to go back to a boat thinking it might still have stored my boat because I was in the boat a moment ago, but no, didn't like that either. Puts me in as a boat, still frozen. Did not like it whatsoever. Now, this is okay because it allows me to not use the desktop app if I am gaming, because I'll still be connected through the browser, through my mobile device. I just won't be connected through my desktop. If we're being honest, it's a little bit annoying. As you can see here, I am technically a hovercraft, and I can drive as a hovercraft when it's not frozen, but it takes a long time for everything to load and to kick in, and it's just a hassle. Now, just to kind of make sure that it wasn't the lack of processing power on this system, trying to capture and run the VPN. You know, it's not the best PC in the world. It's a decent enough one, but it's not the best in the world. This is now me running the Crew 2 on my main PC, which is very, very high spec. And as you can see here, it actually runs a lot smoother. It actually works to a level where it takes a little bit to load the game at the beginning, but once I'm in, it's no problems. It runs basically the same as it did before. So what this means is, if you have a system that is high-end, high-spec, very good, well done, then you are not going to have a problem. Get a relatively decent VPN and you won't notice any differences at all, really. Whereas if you don't have a top-of-the-range, amazing PC, then there is a chance that the VPNs could heavily cause problems with your gaming, and you may have to turn them off when you game and then turn them back on again afterwards, with a remembrance of physically turning them back on when you finish gaming, because that could be where you come unstuck. You finish through 2-3 hours of gaming, you turn the game off, you wander away, you do other things, you wander back, you access your bank, you do bits and pieces, and the whole time you've forgotten to turn your VPN back on. So, you know, it's one of those where you have to be a little bit more vigilant. But, you know, different if you have browser access, then you can get protection that way. Alright, so that has been my quick look at VPNs and gaming. Now, I think that they are perfectly great. I think that if you have a higher end PC and you don't mind the odd little pause here and there, which frankly you get in games nowadays anyway, it could be a game server issue and not necessarily a U or a VPN issue, then not a problem. I think the VPNs are good and they're great and they give you security and privacy, and if you've got the money and you feel like you want to be protected, then go for it. If you have a smaller PC that isn't high-end, top of the range, then I think you could struggle. And I think maybe if you want to get a VPN for mobile protection and you want to use it for the browser extensions, then I would say go for it. But if you want to use it for all-round protection to make sure you are 100% safe, but you game on a very regular basis, then I honestly don't think it's going to work. So it may be something you have to reconsider, because obviously I used just one game that isn't majorly high intensive internet usage, and it did not like it one bit. So that is going to be a problem. Alright, so that is my look at VPNs. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you again next time.